sale, in my mind, is very simple. And there were two reasons why the Lakers sold. One, valuations went crazy, largely driven by the Celtics selling for $6 billion, and that Middle East money wants into the NBA. The Lakers were bought with Middle East money, and know that Mark Walter led, and he is the governor. I guess Jeannie's the governor, but he is the controlling owner. But Who
talks the most trash on the team?
Me.
I do, yeah.
Who talks the most trash in the league?
Got to be that kid in Minnesota. Is Ant-Man one?
Brooks.
Ooh, yeah, Dylan. That's my guy.
I love playing against him.
You do?
Yeah.
Yeah. You want that challenge. You love to shut him.
The unthinkable is suddenly possible. Just months after the most expensive sale in sports history, shockwaves are rippling through the NBA. The Los Angeles Lakers' new controlling owner is facing rumors of an immediate sale. Mark Walter, the billionaire who just paid $10 billion for the crown jewel of basketball, is reportedly weighing an exit that would stun the sports world. This is the inside story of the family infighting, the billion-dollar drama, and the chaos that has the entire league holding its breath.
And you have corporations who own a variety of teams in a variety of sports. And that's what's changed a lot. But $10 billion for the Lakers, that's a global brand. How many global brands do we have? Like true global brand. Cowboys, Yankees, Notre Dame football.
They make the game look so easy.
Give me a couple names though, because I like to hear from you saying this about them. Who you watching that gives you that feeling?
You number one.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's true. You know?
Every time you say that, man.
To understand the current shock, you have to go back to June 2025. After 45 years of Buss family ownership, the Lakers were sold in a record-shattering $10 billion deal to Mark Walter, the CEO of Guggenheim Partners and already the owner of the Los Angeles Dodgers. Jerry Buss had bought the franchise in 1979 for just $67.5 million. The 2025 sale eclipsed every prior franchise transaction, topping the Boston Celtics' $6.1 million deal and the NFL Washington Commanders' $6.05 billion sale. The deal was structured to maintain continuity. Jeannie Buss would keep a minority stake and remain team governor, ensuring the family's presence while Walter's deep pockets promised a new era of aggressive spending. Walter's track record with the Dodgers, record payrolls, multiple World Series appearances, back-to-back championships suggested the Lakers were entering a golden age of financial firepower. But behind the scenes, the sale was anything but smooth. According to ESPN's Baxter Holmes, the Buss family was plagued by sibling infighting and subterfuge, attempted coups, and deep familial distrust in the years leading up to the deal. After patriarch Jerry Buss's death in 2013, described as the glue that was holding a broken family together, the cracks emerged almost immediately. The sale was finalized, but the wounds never healed, and now those wounds are threatening to unravel everything. Subscribe to understand what's really happening behind closed doors.
This is how the Buss family dynasty fractured behind the scenes. According to a bombshell report by ESPN, only weeks after the Lakers were sold to Mark Walter at a $10 billion valuation, Jesse Buss and his brother Joey Buss.
The June 2025 sale of the Los Angeles Lakers for a record-shattering $10 billion was supposed to be a fresh start. Mark Walter, the billionaire CEO of Guggenheim Partners and already the architect of the Dodgers' modern dynasty, was stepping in with bottomless pockets and a winning track record. The Buss family, after 45 years, was stepping back, mostly. But the transaction, finalized in late October 2025 after NBA approval, was never the clean break it appeared to be. Behind the celebratory headlines lurked a family saga of sibling infighting and subterfuge, attempted coups, and deep familial distrust that had been festering since patriarch Jerry Buss's death in 2013. He had been the glue that was holding a broken family together. Without him, the cracks widened into chasms. Jeannie Buss, who had battled her brothers Jim and Johnny for control years earlier, emerged as the driver of the sale, but the fallout was brutal and immediate. On November 20th, 2025, just weeks after the deal closed, 4 of Jeannie's siblings, Joey, Jesse, Jim, and Johnny, plus sister Janie, were abruptly fired from their Lakers roles. Janie pleaded to resign rather than be terminated. She was paid through year's end, but told ESPN she felt disappointed and disrespected, like a crumpled-up piece of paper thrown into the trash. Joey and Jesse, who had once supported Jeannie, were forced to focus on their new venture, Bus Sports Capital. The family that built the Lakers' global brand was now, for all practical purposes, gone. The emotional toll was profound, but the financial terms raised even more troubling questions. The deal gave Jeannie Buss a $50 million bonus and provided substantial bonuses for key executives in her inner circle, including Linda Rambis. Jesse and Joey Buss later questioned whether the sale aligned with the family trust. For Mark Walter, who had paid $10 billion for majority control, the messy aftermath was an unwelcome complication. He hadn't just bought a basketball team, he had inherited a family war. The ink is barely dry, and already the cracks are showing. Now, the unthinkable. Walter is weighing an exit. Subscribe to see why the $10 billion man might walk away.
When Yahoo bought you,
right,
they gave you $2.5 billion?
No, they gave us $5.7 billion in stock.
Right.
And then, so I got 33% of it or whatever.
Right.
And then
when Yahoo went to about $2.5 billion.
Mark Walter is not a man prone to impulsive decisions. The CEO of Guggenheim Partners, who manages over $300 billion in assets, built his fortune on patience, data, and calculated risk. But sources close to the Lakers' new controlling owner describe a man increasingly burdened by the unexpected chaos of his $10 billion acquisition. The immediate trigger for the sale rumors, according to industry insiders, is the staggering financial architecture behind the deal. As NBA insider Brian Windhorst recently revealed, Walter's ownership group secured a massive infusion of capital, reportedly $10 billion from Abu Dhabi, shortly before finalizing the Lakers' purchase. The transaction effectively used Middle Eastern investment to acquire the franchise, a complex financial engineering that now faces unprecedented scrutiny. But the deeper issue is human, not financial. Walter inherited a war, not a team. The Buss family dysfunction that necessitated the sale has not magically disappeared. Jeannie Buss remains governor, but her siblings, Joey, Jesse, Jim, Johnny, and Janie, were unceremoniously fired weeks after the deal closed. Janie Buss captured the raw emotion when she told ESPN she felt like a crumpled-up piece of paper thrown into the trash. Jesse Buss, who once believed he and Joey would run basketball operations, now suspects his sister orchestrated their exit. For Walter, the constant family drama is an unwelcome distraction from his core mission, building a championship organization. The Lakers, after all, were supposed to follow the Dodgers blueprint: ruthless efficiency, sustained excellence, minimal drama. Instead, he's managing a reality show where the cast refuses to leave the stage. The financial architecture is shaky, the family war continues, and Walter is asking himself a simple question: is this worth it? Subscribe to see what happens when a billionaire decides the price of glory is too high.
I'm the guy, when I go to an organization, I don't give a fuck who there, I'm in charge. Like, for example, when I first got to Miami, wives could travel on the plane. No, the fuck they cannot. Other than that, this shit's done with. No wives, no kids on the plane.
The $10 billion valuation that made headlines masked a far more complex financial reality. As ESPN's Brian Windhorst revealed in a stunning report, the architecture of Walter's purchase involved Middle Eastern capital on an unprecedented scale. The Lakers were bought with Middle East money, Windhorst stated flatly. Mark Walter's group took on $10 billion from Abu Dhabi shortly before, and then 3 months later bought the Lakers for $10 billion. The timing was everything. Walter's investment group secured a massive infusion of capital from Abu Dhabi, then used those funds to acquire the Lakers at essentially the same valuation. The transaction effectively transferred ownership of an American cultural institution through Middle Eastern financing, a fact now drawing scrutiny from multiple angles. For Walter, the deal structure created an uncomfortable entanglement. The Abu Dhabi partners who enabled the purchase are now watching the Lakers' internal chaos with growing unease. Sources suggest they expected a smooth, profitable investment in a premier sports asset, not a front-row seat to a televised family war. The pressure is mounting from all directions. The Buss family drama won't die. The Abu Dhabi partners want stability. And Walter, the spreadsheet emperor, is discovering that some assets come with complications no balance sheet can capture. When billionaires start asking whether the headache is worth the trophy, the sports world holds its breath. The final chapter examines whether Walter stays or walks. Subscribe for the conclusion.
Staying on Wemby, his first quarter I think was a franchise record for the Spurs in terms of points for any player, and I know you mentioned you guys had some success.
Mark Walter sits at a crossroads few billionaire owners ever face. He owns the most iconic franchise in basketball, purchased at a record valuation, backed by Middle Eastern capital, and inherited a family war that shows no signs of ending. His options are stark and limited. Option 1, the full commitment. Walter could double down, aggressively pushing Jeannie Buss and her remaining loyalists to fully professionalize the organization, severing all remaining emotional ties to the Buss family drama. This would mean potentially removing Jeannie as governor, triggering an even more explosive public battle with the family whose name is still synonymous with the Lakers brand. Option 2, the strategic exit. He could quietly explore a sale, likely at a significant premium to his $10 billion purchase price. The Abu Dhabi partners would need to approve, but they might welcome the chance to cash out on an investment already showing signs of volatility. The NBA would be stunned, but the league has survived ownership changes before. Option 3, the stalemate. He could simply wait, hoping the drama eventually subsides and the Lakers' on-court product distracts from the off-court chaos. This is the path of least resistance, but for a man who built his career on decisive action, passive waiting may be the hardest choice of all. As of now, Walter has made no decision. The rumors remain rumors, but the very fact that they exist, that a man who just spent $10 billion on the Lakers is even considering an exit, speaks volumes about the depth of the dysfunction he inherited. The ultimate question, the one no spreadsheet can answer, is this. Is the Los Angeles Lakers franchise still worth the price of admission when the admission price is endless family drama? What would you do if you were Mark Walter? Fight, fold, or wait? Let us know in the comments. For more inside stories on the business battles behind sports headlines, hit subscribe.